Someone sent me this today. Let me take a good look here, bro. Oh my God. What has this sister and this brother has to say about this?
You, what do you identify yourself with and why? Are you black or are you Dominican?
I tag both sometimes, but
when you in the Bronx, are you Dominican or black?
Now, when I'm in the Bronx, I'm black. None of that. But people say like I have an accent and stuff, so they know that I'm mixed with something else.
Right. Now, why do black people find it to be mixed with something else, like a thing, like an additive? Like, do you feel when you tell people that you have Dominican that it's an additive to society? So you feel that being black is better? Or like, what do you feel?
I feel like, I don't know. Like, it's a race. Like, but people be ODing with it sometimes. Like, you can't be a specific race unless they have a title on you, like, from social media and stuff like that.
I agree with that. That's true. Now, what is your preference when it comes to, what you date? Would you date a Dominican? Would you date a black, or does it matter?
It don't matter to me. As long as you ain't Mexican or nothing like that,
now,
I have no problem.
Now, why is it that Mexicans get such a bad stigma of all the Hispanics? Like, what's up with that? Like, why is it, I don't want to say that they're crazy, but you tell me why.
I never met somebody that was cute, that was Mexican, like, at all.
So you're saying basically Mexicans are ugly?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my God, Mister, the link is down below. Oh my God, the hot, sexy ass mamacita here. This brother Nathaniel got speak. The link is down below. Now, someone was telling this to me, and he started cursing me out, saying, "You see, you, and no one wants you." And I know. Okay, let's dissect this question here. First, we gotta ask this brother a question, bro. You need to stop interviewing girls that are underage. Okay, they're below, like literally 10 years your age. Okay, you need to stop doing that. I have no problem interviewing a girl that says she thinks Mexican girls are fucking ugly or Mexican guys are fucking ugly, but he's around your age, that's no problem. But if it's a girl at least 10 years your age, we got a problem. You gotta stop interviewing girls that are at least below under 18 years old. 17, 16-year-old girls are not valid questions. Now, let's start by saying this to people. Let's start from the top. Since you have to pick a side, Dominican or black. Oh my God, you're in the Bronx, right, sister? You have to pick a side. Like, what do you feel more? Like, why do black people benefit by being? Look, listen, I know what he's gonna say. If he picks a side, they're like, oh my God, there's Dominicans and Latino. Oh my God, this is the Dominicans and black, because we documented before that the Afro-American male has a sex fetish with Dominican women because the vast majority of them are mixed and lighter complected, and we know that the Afro-American male has a sexual fetish over those type of women. Never mind women from Africa. They ain't gonna touch her unless she's Ethiopian. Now, let's get to the grand dam and all. Let's get to the main topic because everyone getting all emotional. Because I know some dudes on YouTube on the comments are like, "Oh, you see, no one wants you. No one wants you." Hold on a second, there, Mr. BBC, Mr. Pro White, Mr. Whatever crap you are. Let's hold on just a second here. Did I feel offended for what this girl has to say? No, I don't, because she's telling the truth. How could you say something like that? Now, we have to examine the types of Mexicans who come to NYC. A lot of them tend to be fat. A lot of them have the fuzzy whiskers here and have fuzzy hair. They tend to be weird looking and look like Cabbage Patch dolls. You look at the women, almost the same thing. They're just weird looking. Now, am I offended? No, because I used to live around NYC area, and most of the Mexicans that I saw were really ugly. I'm sorry to say that they're ugly. And anyone that, even though they get mistaken for, stuff like Peruvians, Bolivians, and all these other people, because anyone that is seen deemed as ugly or have these type of look, tend to be kind of ugly, always equate themselves to being Mexicans, even though a large portion of them are, could be Bolivians and Peruvians. Because I used to live in a Bolivian Peruvian area, and every time they cross paths, everyone says they're Mexicans. Because the equation is Mexicans are ugly, and it's only the Hispanic people. Mexicans are the only Hispanic people that are not attractive. They're the only ones. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you have not traveled all throughout Latin America. I know you haven't. Now, in his response, like, but did you know that Mexicans in California, the ones are just a little bit. Listen, you're seeing things in a USA point of view. I'm going to tell you why I say this to people. I'm going to give you a quick thinking process when it comes to this. The Mexicans that people are seeing in the United States are the low class and the uneducated. That's what you're getting. That's the type of Mexicans you're getting. You're getting Mexicans that look like this. A lot of them are not educated. A lot of them have a low class thinking pattern behavior. A lot of them just do migrant stuff, which a lot of people say, "Well, see, you suck up to the white man," and these are the same men that go around making videos say how white women are better than black women in America. But that's a whole different story. These are the type of Mexicans that you're going to see. These are the type of Mexicans that you're going to interact. If you're an Afro or white American male, these are the type of Mexicans that you're going to get. Now, am I upset what she said? No, I'm not. Because the reason why I say that is because she's telling the truth. I can't be sitting here trying to defend this because it's true. A lot of the Mexicans that you see a lot in these areas in the United States, they're not attractive. They're ugly. A lot of them are. Why is that? Because they come from the poor parts. They come from the poor rural parts. A lot of them don't speak proper Spanish. A lot of them can't read or write. Those are the type of Mexicans that you're getting. A large portion of the Mexican population that is coming through the borders are not educated. Now, here's the kicker. Okay? And this is what I'm trying to tell a lot of these people. Now the Mexicans, not just Mexicans, but a lot of, now, she says she lives in the Bronx. And this is the thing that this is something that's very key about this. If you've ever been to the Bronx, and if you've seen the other Hispanic groups, they're trash. They're really trash. They're trashy. These are trashy women. Trashy Latino guys. Now, why am I saying that? It's because a lot of the Latino groups that come from their countries to the United States, a large portion of them are low class and uneducated. That what you see there in the Bronx, they're dumped there. That's what you see a lot in these areas. They're dumped there. And the saddest thing about it is that these Afro Americans and white Americans, etc., they interbreed with them. Who the hell does that? I don't know what. So am I upset this girl from the Bronx is not? No, because if anyone's been to the Bronx, it's a shithole. And they don't understand this, bro. I keep trying to tell this to people. Dude, the Mexicans who go to these areas, they're trash, man. The Puerto Ricans that live in the Bronx, the Dominicans, the Colombians, all these people you see in the Bronx, they are trash. They are the bombs. They're the rejects of their countries. That's why they're there to begin with. That's why they're in Patterson. That's why they're in Newark. That's why they're in Rochester. They're the bombs and trash, and you want to marry within them? What the fuck is wrong with you, Mr. BBC? Mr. Pro-White? Why are you marrying into this? The same thing in California. I see a lot of this in California. You see these girls married to men. I'm looking at this. they're married into trash. They're married into trash, and I know they are because a lot of these people don't seem to understand this. Because you know why? I'll tell you why. Mexican guys that look like him, they're not coming to the United States. Mexican girls that look like this, they're not coming to the United States. They're not coming. So when people come up and tell me that Mexican girls are ugly, this and that, because where I live, they look like this, that's what you get. You're not getting girls that look like this. They're not gonna. They have this. American men have this imagination that women like this are just in line, just dying to come to the United States and meet American men, or these type of guys that could fly to the Bronx and pick girls like her on the video up. They're not coming. They're not coming. I keep trying to tell this. They make it out that these successful, educated, handsome Dominican men are just is dying to come and marry these American women. They're not doing that. You know what kind of people you're marrying into? You're marrying into crap. Everybody knows this. That's why I laugh at this stuff. And am I offensive with this girl? No. She's telling the truth. A lot of these dudes are ugly because that's the kind of Mexicans you get. But at the same time, it's not just the Mexicans, it's the rest of the other Latino communities. How do I know? Because I used to live in the Bronx. I seen Colombian girls over there. I seen Puerto Rican. I seen Dominicans. They're also busted up. But you people have such low self-esteem that you're willing to marry and interbreed with the trash of Latin America. That is ridiculous. So when guys come up to me and tell me, well, Mexican girls are ugly, I'm not hurt by that. Because you know why? Because the Mexican girls that I see every day in my country are actually pretty attractive. And I know for a fact because that's the girls I get. The girls that you Americans get are the ugly ones. Just like with the Dominicans, just like with the Puerto Ricans, just like the other regions in Latin America, you guys get the trash of these countries. You guys make it out that you guys are dating these handsome, good-looking, middle upper class women of class. No, you're not getting those girls. I mean, we have to examine this part too, and that is the dating scene in the United States. Look at American women. Look at American men. Do you see women from other countries? Do you see men from other countries flocking in droves to court these people? No. Look at your divorce rates. Look at your single rate. It's so ridiculously high. So when you look at that and you look at Mexico, for example, you look at Mexico, you see Europeans marrying to Mexicans. You see Middle Easterns. You see people who are Asians, people that are Africans, other Central South Americans. They're all marrying to Mexicans in Mexico. Why is that? And what's the difference between the United States? The United States is getting the trash in Mexico. That's what you don't understand. This is how sad this is. Am I offended what she said? No, I'm not offended because it's the Bronx. Dear Lord. They make it out guys like him are flying in droves to come to the Bronx. Or girls like that. They're not coming to the Bronx. If you ever been to the Bronx, please go to the Bronx. Please go to NYC and look at those Latino. Go to Queens. See the so-called Colombian girls that are hot. They're really ugly. And you see loads of American men chasing after basically the equivalent is the trash of Colombia. Or the trash or whatever. So when they say, well, Mexican people are Mexican men are ugly. Well, yeah, duh. Look at the Mexican men that you're getting. That's what you're getting. That's what you're worth. Hello? They make it. Dude, that's the type of Mexican guys you're getting. Guys like this are not going to the Bronx. They're not going to NYC. Guys like this, they're not. These people are not coming. I keep trying to tell you this because you know why? Because I'll tell you why. They don't want to talk about this, but we have to start questioning American beauty. American men are not up on the pedestal when it comes to men. When it comes to American women, they're not up there. No one worldwide is flocking in droves to come to the United States and dating Americans. People come to the United States to make money. That's it. That's why these groups that are coming in, not just Latin America, but these other groups coming in, they're basically the rejects of their countries. That's why all the Indian girls don't look good. That's why all the Asian girls are all skinny and petite. That's why all these other Hispanic, these Mexican girls are ugly. Is because these women your guys are getting are trash. Why do you think when you guys travel to these other countries, oh man, the women here are really hot over there? And I said, well, yeah. Well, why are these hot girls not coming to your country? Because they don't want to come. But the ones who do go are basically not attractive. Dear Lord, man, this is not that difficult. I knew this a long time ago. Why do you think? Listen, why do you think? When people say Mexican girls, oh, I date the ones from Mexico, because I know where the ones in Mexico are actually pretty hot. The ones in the States here are not that attractive, and any of these dudes that want to interbreed with them, fine by me. I feel bad for you. In fact, I feel bad for you who even try to get with these ones who are Dominicans in these areas, or the so-called Puerto Ricans, or the other people. I feel bad for you. I feel really bad for you because even the upper class Dominican guys of quality or professional types you see in these groups, they're not marrying these girls. You guys are. So good luck with that. I feel sorry for you. Good luck with that. That's why now these dudes are on this campaign trail trying to get guys, girls over there. And I know why they're doing that. And what's even sad about that, they're still getting trash. The same thing with the women. The same thing. It's bad. American people, I don't know what it is, but there's some aura around them that seems to attract really not attractive people. Is that my problem? Nope.